Alright, welcome to another reading the Bible cover to cover. Today we are going through 1 Samuel 2 to 4. It is quite a lot to get through. I have so many points, so let's just jump right into it. My first point is in 2:2. Pew pew pew. This part's really cool. This is Hannah's prayer. After she's given over her son, I believe. So yeah, there is none holy like the Lord. Another addition to there is none righteous before him. There is no rock, so we have more rock imagery here, which we know Christ will call himself the cornerstone, the rock that the church will be built on, etc, etc. 2:3. Pew, pew, pew. Here, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Number 1, God is our judge. Number 2, God's standard is himself, which of course we know is perfection. 2:6-8, we see here the Lord kills and brings to life. He brings down to Sheol and raises up. The Lord makes poor and he makes rich. He brings lows and he exalts. We're getting a great picture here of God's awesome sovereignty. 2:9. Pew, pew, pew. He will guard the feet of the faithful ones, those who stick it through, in a sense. Stick it through. Those who are obedient, those who are faithful. Getting there. 2:10. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give strength to his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. Here we see more imagery of God being a judge. So yeah, that's another point we can point to. I also have like commentary. Let me see if I can find it. The phrase his anointed appears here for the first time in the Bible. In Samuel, it usually refers to a king. The Hebrew word for anointed can also be translated to Messiah. 2:12. Now the sons of Eli were worthless men. They did not know the Lord. So you can know of someone, but you may not know them personally. And we also see this distinction later with Samuel. However, this seems to be a willful, sinful ignorance. My next point is in 2:17. Thus the sin of the young men was very great in the sight of the Lord, for the men treated the offering of the Lord with contempt. The sin of contempt, especially in worship, is very serious, which is sometimes interesting for us who grew up in the church as kids and often dragged our feet or kind of occasionally hated going to church. 2:25. This whole passage is very interesting. So we see if someone sins against a man, God will mediate for him, but if someone sins against the Lord, who can intercede for him? But they would not listen to the voice of their father, for it is the will of the Lord to put them to death. So number 1, we see here there is no mediator right now between God and man, in a sense, which is a foreshadow of the best to come. And yes, it is God's sovereign plan for some to die, and as a result for some to suffer punishment. 2:27. A prophet comes to the Lord, and there came a man of God to Eli and said to him, "Thus says the Lord." So this prophet is very aware that he's speaking on behalf of God, which would have been very serious if he wasn't and saying these words. But we see later that this prophecy is fulfilled. 3:1 is my next point. And the word of the Lord was rare in those days. There was no frequent vision. So God does not always send prophecy consistently throughout history. We know this is a fact, and this is, I guess, a great argument for the cessationist. 3:7 is my next point. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, and the word of the Lord had not been yet revealed to him. So once again, you can know of the Lord, and you can actually know him personally. Pew, pew, pew. My next point is in 3:10. And the Lord came and stood calling as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Name being called twice here is, in a way, a direct call from God to man. We see this with Abraham, with Jacob and Moses throughout the Old Testament. 3:19, my final point. As Samuel grew and the Lord was with him, and let none of his words fall to the ground, Samuel's prophecy comes to pass, affirming him as a prophet of the Lord. Thanks for watching. See y'all tomorrow.